Great American Beer presents stories from America's foremost authors. Stories of trial and endeavor, of the courage of people. Stories from Carling Country.
Tonight, we bring you a story of the sea and the men who sail on her in The Man from Oregon, a fascinating tale of mystery and suspense from Carling Country.
Started in the Transvaal, swept through the Orange Free State like a prairie fire, then set in a towel alight and glowing. Now headed for the Cape Province like Halley's Comet is the beer that has won over the taste of men. America's lusty, lively Carling Black Label. Man, oh man, wait till you pop your first easy-to-open ring-full can. Then you'll know what real beer's all about. Strong, husky, lusty to the last lively drop. This is the man's brand, America's own Carling Black Label beer. Now brewing in the Eastern and Western Cape and on sale soon. Get to know it and you'll stay with it. It's that sort of beer. Carling's Extra Strength Black Label beer.
Characters. Theirs is certainly a world apart. I mean, you just think of it for a moment. Would any guy who's absolutely normal spend his life on a boat, a ship, a thing that gets thrown around and bucketed about, cramped up, no room to raise an elbow? Now, that's what sailors do. But then, like I say, sailors are funny guys. And superstitious, too. Like the old sailing ship days, when the wind died on them, they used to whistle. Did you know that? They'd whistle for the wind to come back again. All kinds of superstitions they got. Maybe they ain't superstitions. Who am I to say? I've been on the sea for 35 years, and, well, I've seen some funny things. But I'd never shoot an albatross. And I know guys who've seen Pelorus Jack lead ships through the straits off Australia. You heard of Pelorus Jack? He was a porpoise, and he used to lead the old tea clippers through the straits, keep them clear of the rocks, and that's true. How about that, huh? And I've known Jonahs, too. No, you can laugh, but it's true. I've been on board ships when the guys come aboard, and right from the start, we've known he's been a Jonah. But the funniest time was with Bert Lombard. Well, it wasn't funny, really. Bert was an American. He came from the Middle West somewhere. He should never have been a seaman. He even walked like a cowboy. But I'm jumping the gun. This was in the 1930s. The Depression was on, and any job was hard to come by. I was a young guy at the time, and I was shipped on a merchantman. Our run was from Sydney to Portland in Oregon, across the Pacific. We were a mixed crew, Australians, English, French. In fact, I was the only Yank aboard until the cowboy came along. Yeah, that's what we called him from the start. The cowboy.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I heard down the pier you was a man.
News travels fast. Only half an hour since Williams went down with appendicitis.
So the ambulance take him away. Figured you'd need a man.
You don't look like a sailor.
I ain't, but I can learn.
What do you think this is, a training ship?
I know you was due to sail 5 minutes ago, and I know if you don't get underway in 15 minutes, you'll miss the tide. You need a man. I need a job.
This is a coal burner. You know what that means?
I should figure it meant you burn coal, so...
So, Williams was a stoker. You ever shovel coal?
No, sir. But I heard it Mavericks, and that's pretty tough.
Bosun.
Yes, sir.
Come here. What's your name?
Lombard, Sir Bert Lombard.
Bosun, this is the new stoker. Looks more like a cowboy to me. Take him below. He's taking Williams' place. Fix him up.
From the start, he was a likable guy. Tall, very tall, which is unusual for a seaman. And he walked with a roll. Or not the roll that a long-service sailor walks with, but, well, a roll like he wasn't used to walking. He was dressed in blue dungarees and didn't wear a hat. But like the captain said, he sure looked more like a cowboy than a sailor. So you want to be a sailor, eh, cowboy?
Not particularly, but I developed an unfortunate habit when I was a kid. Eating. I'd like to keep it up.
Things tough on shore, huh?
Yeah, tough.
Here you are down here. Your mess is along here. We're going to sail pretty soon. Time's now 2 o'clock. That's 4 bells in the afternoon watch. You go down the engine room for the first dog.
Well, how's that?
First dog watch. That's from 4 to 6.
Oh.
Then you're off till 8. Then on from 8 till midnight. Except for the dog watches, you got 4 hours on and 4 hours off. Then off duty for 24 hours, okay?
Well, I'll catch on to it.
Okay.
What do I have to do down there?
Keep the fires going, that's all. That's the first thing a stoker learns. Always keep the fires going. We were a mixed bunch, like I said, and tough. That night, the starboard watch sat down to supper just after 6. They'd just come off watch. The cowboy was among them. He'd done his first 2-hour trick. Well, how'd it go, cowboy?
Okay, I guess. Where do I sit?
Williams used to sit there. You're taking his place, sir.
Oh, well, thanks. Hey, pass the coffee, will you?
It's tea. We drink tea on board this tub.
Oh, well, that's okay, I guess. Pass the tea, will you?
Here you are.
Thanks.
Hey, hurry with your tea, will you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Here you are.
Oh, you're a new boy. So maybe you didn't know. I'm Clancy. I'm third engineer. That means I get served before you.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't know.
Well, remember in future, things go by routine on board a ship, even a tub like this. We don't change the routine just because some lubber has to dodge from the cops. Get it?
Hey, are you talking about me? I didn't have to dodge no cops.
I've seen your sort before. Can't earn an honest living ashore. Gets tangled with the cops and reckon the best way to get away is hop a ship.
Well, you got me wrong, mister. I got nothing to fear from no cops.
You calling me a liar?
I ain't calling you nothing. But don't you go calling me things, mister. I ain't done nothing wrong.
That's good. If you want to keep your nose clean, keep it that way. I got no time for tramps.
Maybe I should have warned him about Clancy. You must have met that type of guy. Very conscious of the little bit of authority which he has. And with a chip on his shoulder against the whole world. Nobody on board really liked Clancy, but, well, he was big. And he was a bully. The cowboy, though, was just as big. And that first little clash on the mess deck didn't seem to show that he was scared of Clancy. Maybe things would have turned out different if he had been. Anyway, I had other things to worry about at the time. I didn't pay too much attention. The cowboy soon settled into the routine of the ship, and after a couple of days, he was even beginning to look like a deep-water man. I was taking a stroll on the foredeck one morning. The forenoon watch is always the time for the hands to catch up on their dobying or mending. And there was the cowboy making a pretty good job with a needle and thread. Well, how's it going, cowboy?
Oh, fine. Just fine. Say, this air is starting to smell real good, huh?
Yeah, we're in the tropics now. Crossed the Tropic of Cancer yesterday. About 100 miles off the starboard side is Hawaii, Honolulu.
Oh, that's a place I always wanted to see, Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
All them girls, grass skirts, huh?
We shall call in there on the way back, like as not.
What stops do we make before we reach Sydney?
We refuel at the Fijis. Put in a tuba overnight, I guess.
Yeah, I ain't never been out of the States before, you know. Come to think of it, I've never been out of the West before.
You'll find Suva different. You watch your step if you go ashore.
Well, I ain't travel much, but I reckon I can handle myself if any trouble comes.
I wasn't thinking of that. Sailors are always landing in fighting trouble. No, that's nothing. No, for a guy who's hardly set foot out of Oregon, Silver's going to look mighty different. Just make sure you get back on board, that's all. Don't get carried away with the drink and the dames. We steamed southwest for another couple of days, and the weather got hotter as we approached the equator. The weather got hotter, the air got heavier, the wind dropped to pretty near nothing. These were the doldrums that the old-time sailing ships used to dread. They'd sit becalmed in these waters for days at a time, waiting for the wind to come up again. On deck, it was hot, but down in the engine room, it was almost unbearable. Tempers started to get ragged around the edges, and Clancy, never the sweetest of guys, he started to get impossible.
Hey, you! What do you think you are, a passenger? Stoke that fire, Lombard.
Yeah, sure. I just getting my breath back a minute, that's all.
Don't give me that. I've been watching you for the past 5 minutes. That's the shovel you got in your hand, not the stick to lean on.
Hey, look, I'm working as hard as the next guy. A fella's entitled to a breather, ain't he?
Not when I'm in charge of the engine room.
Okay. Have it your way.
You better watch yourself, cowboy. In my watch, everybody works. Even a tramp on the run from the police works.
Why are you riding me, mister? I told you before, I done nothing wrong.
I know your sort. Get on with your job and stop wasting time.
Yeah, the temperature was getting higher, and so were the tempers. I heard about the way things were going between Clancy and the cowboy, but, well, it wasn't up to me to interfere. Mac, the chief engineer, was in charge of things below decks, and I didn't want to tread on his province. It was about 1 bell in the first watch, 8:30 in the evening, and a fine evening it was. The ship was throwing up a phosphorescent wake, and the flying fishes were bouncing about like paper airplanes thrown by small kids. Mac was leaning on the rail aft, puffing on his pipe, and occasionally spitting into the water below. Well, evening there, Mac.
Well, there, bosun. It's a fine night, isn't it?
And how's the new hand-shaping?
Who, the cowboy? Oh, fine, just fine.
I hear that he and Clancy don't hit it off so good.
Nobody hits it off with Clancy, you know that.
Yeah, I know, but by this time, a new man has usually accepted the fact that Clancy thinks he runs the world. I don't think Lombard has.
No, neither do I. But I don't think it's anything to worry about.
I should hate it if those two came to blows, Mac.
Ah, for Pete's sake, Bob, this isn't a school for boys. You can't go up to him and say, look, Clancy's a nasty bully, but just accept it and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I suppose not. But I think somebody should warn Lombard. He's heading for trouble if he don't keep quiet.
Aye, well, don't look to me. Clancy's a good third engineer. It's more important to the smooth running of the ship to keep him happy than Lombard. You want to fill him a baccy, Bob? I got this from England.
The trouble came sooner than I thought. The middle watch was about halfway through. It was around 2 o'clock in the morning. Apparently, Lombard had been complaining of a slight fever. According to the other guys in the watch, he was certainly flushed, and he seemed to be shaking a little and a bit unsteady on his feet. He got worse since midnight when the watch had started. And around about 2 o'clock, Clancy spotted him sort of hunkered over in a corner.
What do you think you're doing? Come on, get on with your work.
I don't feel so good. I think maybe I got a touch of fever.
Fever? Come on your face.
Oh, gee, I feel plumb bad.
What are you staggering for? Fever? Well, I've heard some things in my time, but I never heard a guy trying to pretend that drunkenness was fever.
Well, I'm not drunk. What are you talking about?
You're drunk. Being drunk on watch is a serious thing, mister.
I'm not drunk, I tell you. I'm sick.
I know you're sort tramp. You never make good on nothing. You're drunk. I'm taking you to the skipper right now. I can smell the liquor from here.
Look, I was feeling bad before I came down here. I did have a slug, one mouthful. I got maybe to make me feel better. That's why you can smell, but I ain't drunk.
You're coming with me. Come on.
Take your hands off me.
Who do you think you're talking
You leave
to?
me alone. Just leave me alone.
I'll show you.
Yes. Oh, you lousy.
You know the way eyewitnesses talk after a thing like that. They all had different stories to tell, but one thing they were all pretty sure of. There was a fight, okay? Both of them must have lost their tempers completely. It had been boiling up for days. Clancy apparently grabbed a hunk of coal and tried to land the cowboy with it. And that did it for Lombard. He grabbed hold of a shovel and fetched Clancy a wallop behind the left ear. Clancy dropped like a stone. Lombard stood for a second, looking down at him, his chest heaving and his eyes wild. He gave a sort of a choking sob, threw down the shovel, and ran. He was up the companionway before the spell was broken.
All right, don't take round. Give him here. Oh, he sure gave him a heck of a wallop. Hey, you better send for the bosun. I think he's dead.
I was down there in a matter of minutes. He was dead, all right. His eyes had already got that glassy, glazed-over look. He was dead, and the cowboy was missing.
All right, men. He can't have gone far. Sank the Aquitania. Bosun, you take half a dozen men and start from the stern.
Aye, sir.
Mac, take your men and start right forward. Work your way towards each other. Search everywhere. He's somewhere aboard this ship, and I want him found.
Nothing there, Bosun.
Nowhere to get him, Bosun.
Hey, hello, Bob. Any sign of him?
No, nothing. You the same, I take it?
From here forward, there ain't a nuke we haven't searched. Yeah, we better report back to the captain. You mean to say he's nowhere? Aye, he's not aboard, Skipper. What do you mean, not aboard? You're trying to tell me he's dived overboard, hundreds of miles from the nearest land?
Well, that's as maybe, sir. He's certainly not aboard. Unless he climbed the smokestack and dropped in.
Is that possible, do you think?
Smith was on deck watch. He saw him come out of the hatch just abaft the smokestack. Let him tell you what he saw. He's just outside, sir.
All right. Let you in.
Okay. Smith!
Yes, sir?
Come in, Smith.
Now, Smith, you were on deck watch when it happened.
Yes, sir. I didn't know what had gone wrong in the engine room, of course, so I didn't think too much of it when I saw Lombard come staggering out of the hatchway.
What happened? Which way did he go?
Well, sir, he sort of staggered to the rail and he was looking over for a moment. I thought he was seasick, as a matter of fact. I shouted something to him. I don't think he heard me anyway. He made no sign. Just kept on leaning over. I started towards him. Then he turned round. He still didn't seem to hear me. He looked wild, sir, like he wasn't all there. Then he ran to the smokestack. The ladder up the stack is abaft from where I was standing, so I lost sight of him.
Did he climb up?
Well, I couldn't say, sir, but by the time I'd run round so that I could see the ladder, he wasn't in sight anywhere.
I see. So he must have climbed up and jumped down into the fire.
He must have done, sir. I didn't see nothing.
All right, Smith. That'll be all.
All right, sir.
Well, gentlemen, if he did jump down, there'll be nothing left of him to prove it.
He must have been off his head to do a thing like that.
We'll bury Clancy in the forenoon tomorrow. Tell the sailmaker, get busy making the shroud.
Aye, sir.
And my log entry will show that Lombard killed Clancy. then committed suicide by jumping down into the smokestack.
Either way, that was obviously the end of Lombard. Cowboys ain't such great shakes on swimming anyway, and the nearest land was well over 100 miles away. If he'd dived overboard, he would certainly never have made it, even if he'd not been taken by the sharks, which are plentiful in those waters. Clancy certainly wasn't missed much, though the engine room did have to double up a bit until we reached Sydney and could take on another 2 men. And that, to all intents and purposes, would have been that, except for a funny thing that happened just a few years ago. Master's ticket, and I was skipping a cattle boat. We were shipping a cargo, a live cargo of blood animals from the States to Australia. There was a knock at my cabin door one morning. Come in. Yeah, Bolton? What is it?
Oh, somebody's made a bit of a brew, sir.
Yeah?
Or miscalculated or something.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the water, sir.
Well, what about the water?
We ain't got enough to reach Silver, sir.
Not enough?
No, sir.
What kind of way is that to run a ship? You know how many animals there were on board. You should have made sure you had enough water.
Well, I thought I had, sir. There's been a miscalculation somewhere.
Yeah. Well, there's no land nearer than the Fijis. So what do you suggest we do?
Well, sir, there is a small cluster of islands about 70 miles southeast, sir.
I don't know of any, and I know these waters pretty well.
Oh, they were only charted a couple of years ago, sir. I suggest we change course and put in there.
Yeah. Is there any harbor?
Oh, I don't know, sir. If not, we'll have to send in boats with barrels.
All right, Bosun. Make the arrangements. But I warn you, this isn't going to look nice in the log. Running out of water in this day and age. The Tokolo Islands, as they're now called, were known as the Union Islands in those days. Even today, their total population is under 2,000 people. And 30 years ago, it was considerably less. I didn't want to take a chance on running the tub into the lagoon, so I anchored half a mile or so seawards of the reef and sent in the boats. The last minute, I decided to go along the south. I've always been curious for new places and new faces. Maybe that's why I'm still a sailor. Anyway, we rolled into the lagoon and pulled towards the white beach. I don't suppose the natives have ever seen a ship the size of the Maryland before. Anyway, by the time we beached the boats, it looked as if the whole population had turned out to greet us. They were friendly, all right, and to my surprise, I had no difficulty in making myself understood. Now, look, I need water. Water, drink, see? You know, water.
You come with me.
Hey, what do you know? They speak English. I walked behind the one who'd spoken to me. The rest of the population fell in behind me and my guys, so it was quite a procession that walked off the beach and into the village compound, which stood about half a mile away. I felt like a guy on Mars being taken to their leader. Once we entered the sort of compound, the population proceeded to seat themselves, and I started to get a bit worried. Maybe they'd learned to speak English from all the missionaries that they brought in the pot. My guide disappeared into a hut and reappeared a minute later with a young fellow who was obviously the chief. He came across to me and held out his hand in an unmistakable gesture.
I understand you need water.
You could have knocked me down with a feather. He was tall, well-built, and vaguely familiar. He invited me into his hut and poured me a drink of coconut wine. I was intrigued, to say the least. We drank, and he smiled.
You are the first white man I've seen since my father died.
Who was your father?
For a long time, there had been a legend that a white god would come from the sea. I suppose my father filled the bill. That's how most of us speak English, too. We don't see strangers from one year to the next. We are right off the shipping routes here.
Your father's dead now, huh?
About 5 years ago.
What was his name?
I don't know. He took my mother's name. But she had a pet name for him, though. Used to call him Cowboy.
I don't know. maybe it was lumbered. This canoe certainly picked up somebody miles from land and just about on his last gasp. For years, if I'd ever thought about the business of Clancy, I would have been certain in my own mind that Lombard had committed suicide by jumping down the smokestack, but, well, now I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, but I like to think that the cowboy made it. What do you think?
Started in the Transvaal, swept through the Orange Free State like a prairie fire, then set Natal alight and glowing. Now headed for the Cape Province like Halley's Comet is the beer that has won over the taste of men. America's lusty, lively, Carling Black Label.
And now, Carling Country. Carling, world brewers of the great American beer, present stories from America's foremost authors. Stories of trial and endeavor, of the courage of people. Stories from Carling Country.
Tonight's story from Carling Country is another of the works of John Steinbeck. It tells of the courage and spirit of a young Mexican boy. Mr. Steinbeck calls the story Flight.
If you owned a Carling brewery, how would you supply this great beer to people who were far from you? At Carling, we go to the people and brew on the spot. Our philosophy on every can tells why. Time, the maker of beer, can also be the great destroyer. Shipped all the way from America, our great Carling Black Label beer might just lose the lusty, lively taste that makes it great. We couldn't take that risk. That's why we now brew in 12 breweries around the world, as well as in 7 states in America. Carling Black Label is brewed in South Africa and is on sale in the Transvaal, Orange Free State, and Northwestern Cape, and now also in Natal, coming to the Cape Province before long. Carling Black Label, America's lusty, lively beer.
About 15 miles below Monterey, on the wild coast, the Torres family had their farm. A few sloping acres above a cliff that dropped to the brown reefs, out of the hissing white waters of the ocean. Mama Torres had 3 children, 2 undersized ones of 12 and 14, Emilio and Rosie, who Mama kept fishing on the rocks below the farm when the sea was kind, and when the truant officer was in some distant pub of Monterey County. And there was Pepe, the tall, smiling son of 19, a gentle, affectionate boy, but very lazy. Pepe had a tall head, pointed at the top, and from its peak, coarse black hair grew down like thatch all around. Over his smiling little eyes, Mama cut a straight bang so that he could see. His mouth was as sweet and shapely as a girl's, and his chin was fragile and chiseled. He was loose and gangly, all legs and feet and wrists, and he was very lazy. Mama thought him fine and brave, but she never told him so. She said,
"Some lazy woman must have got into thy father's family, else how could I have a son like thee? When I carried thee, A sneaky, lazy coyote came out of the brush and looked at me one day. That must have made thee so.
See, Mama.
Ah, you are justly proud of your father's knife, eh? You always carry it with you.
See, Mama. When I throw it into the good earth, it keeps the blade sharp and free from rust.
Pepe was proud of his inheritance. His father's knife with a long, heavy blade that folded back into the black handle. There was a button on the handle. When Pepe pressed the button, the blade leapt out, ready for use. The knife was with Pepe always, for it had been his father's knife. One sunny morning, when the sea below the cliffs was glinting and blue and the white surf creamed on the reef, when even the stone mountains looked kindly, Mama Torres called out of the door of the shack.
Pepe! Pepe! I have labored for thee! Pepe! Oh, where is the boy? Pepe! I have labored for thee!
When Mama found him, Pepe was sitting on the ground with his back against a box. His white teeth glistened. On either side of him stood the two young ones, tense and expectant. 15 feet away, a redwood post was set in the ground. Pepe's right hand lay limply in his lap, and in the palm the big black knife rested. The blade was closed back into the handle. Pepe looked smiling at the sky. Suddenly, Emilio cried. Pepe's wrist flicked like the head of a snake. The blade seemed to fly open in midair, and then dug into the redwood post, and the black handle quivered.
All day you do foolish things with a knife like a toy baby. Get up on thy huge feet and eat up shoes. Get up!
See, Mama.
Look, big lady, you must catch the horse and put on him thy father's saddle. You must ride to Monterey. The medicine bottle is empty. There is no salt. Go now and catch the horse. There, Peanut. At last you are ready. That's for the medicine, huh? And that's for the salt. That's for the candle to burn for Papa. That's for dulces for the little ones. Our friend Mrs. Rodriguez will give you dinner and maybe a bed for the night. When you go to church, say only 10 paternosters and only 25 Ave Marias, eh? Oh, I know, big coyote. You would sit there flapping your mouth over Aves all day while you looked at the candles and the holy pictures. That is not good devotion to stare at the pretty things. I would not send thee now alone, thou little one, except for the medicine. It is not good to have no medicine, for who knows when the toothache will come, or the sadness of the stomach. These things are.
Adios, Mama. I will come back soon. You may send me often alone. I am a man.
Oh, thou art a foolish chicken. Oh, how well he rides the horse, and how proud and dignified he looks. Truly, he is nearly a man now. It will be a fine thing to have a man in the house again.
The moon was near down to the water when Pepe rode on a winded horse to his home flat. Pepe slid off the saddle to the ground.
Who comes? Pepe, is it thou?
See, Mama.
Well, go to sleep then. I thought you would be sleeping at the house of Mrs. Rodriguez. Why do you stand silent there in the darkness? Did you drink wine?
See, Mama, I drank wine.
Well, go to bed then and sleep out the wine.
Light the candle, Mama. I must go away to the mountains.
What is this, Pepe? Are you crazy? There, it is lit. Now, Pepe, what is this you say?
As Mama looked at Pepe, she saw that he was changed. The fragile qualities seemed to have gone from his chin. His mouth was less full than it had been. The lines of the lips were straighter. But in his eyes, the greatest change had taken place. There was no laughter in them anymore, nor any bashfulness. They were sharp and bright and purposeful.
I did as you said, Mama. I went to the house of Mrs. Rodriguez. She was very friendly. We were sitting in the kitchen. People came to see her. There was much wine to drink, and I drank of the wine. There was a quarrel. The man came towards me to do me harm, and then the knife, it went from my hand almost by itself before I knew it. I am a man now, Mama. The man said names to me, names which I could not allow, names which I could not say to you, else I would not be a man.
Yes, thou art a man, my poor little Pepe. Thou art a man. I have seen it coming on thee. I have watched you throwing the knife into the post, and I have been afraid. Come, we must get you ready. Emilio, Rosie, wake up.
What is it, Mama?
Emilio, go up and catch the other horse for Pepe. Quickly now. Pepe, you heard no one on the road behind you?
No, Mama. I listened carefully. No one was on the road.
Come, there is no time to waste. My son, do not stop until it is dark again. Do not sleep even though you are tired. Take care of the horse in order that he may not stop of weariness. Remember to be careful with the bullets, eh? There are only 10. And forget not thy prayers.
Goodbye, Emilio. Rosie, look after our Mama. Goodbye, Mama.
Go now. Do not wait to be caught like a chicken.
See, Mama. I am a man.
Mama stood stiffly in front of her doorstep, and on either side of her stood Emilio and Rosie. They cast furtive glances at Mama now and then. When the gray shape of Pepe melted into the hillside and disappeared, Mama relaxed. She began the high, whining keen of the death wail.
Our beautiful, our brave, our protector, our son is gone. Our beautiful, our brave is gone.
It was the formal wail. It rose to a high, piercing whine and subsided to a moan. Mama raised it 3 times and went into the house and shut the door. Emilio and Rosie stood wondering in the dawn. They heard Mama whimpering in the house. They went out to sit on the cliff above the ocean. They touched shoulders.
When did Pepe come to be a man? Last night. Last night in Monterey.
The ocean clouds turned red with the sun that was behind the mountains.
We will have no breakfast. Mama will not want to cook. Where is Pepe gone, Rosie?
Rosie looked around at him. She drew her knowledge from the quiet air.
He has gone on a journey. He will never come back. Is he dead? Do you think he is dead?
Rosie looked back at the ocean again. A little steamer drawing a line of smoke sat on the edge of the horizon.
He is not dead, Emilio. Not yet.
Now, America's lusty, lively beer, Carling Black Label. Man, oh man, this is what real beer is all about. Strong, husky, lusty to the last lively drop. Carling Black Label is enjoyed all over America and in 50 countries around the world. Any beer this popular you should ask for. Go for the man's brand, America's own Carling Black Label beer, and get that lusty, lively taste that makes the difference. Carling Black Label is brewed in South Africa and is on sale in the Transvaal, Orange Free State, and Northwestern Cape, and now also in Natal, coming to the Cape Province before long. Carling Black Label, America's lusty, lively beer.
Pepe rested the big rifle across the saddle in front of him. The high shoulder of the canyon closed in. His horse stretched out its neck and sighed and settled to the trail. It was a well-worn path, dark, soft-leafed mold-earth strewn with broken pieces of sandstone. The trail rounded the shoulder of the canyon and dropped steeply into the bed of the stream. In the shallows, the water ran smoothly, glinting in the first morning sun. The path went into the stream and emerged on the other side, where the canyon sides became steep, and the first giant sentinel redwoods guarded the trail. Great, round, red trunks bearing foliage as green and lacy as ferns. Pepe rode half over in his saddle, dangling one leg loosely. Suddenly he squared in his saddle.
Huh? What's that? Come on, swing over. That's it. Quickly over behind the redwood tree. That's it. Oh. I must pull right on the reins. No noise, pony. No noise.
When the last sound of the hooves died away, Pepe came back into the trail again. He didn't relax in the saddle anymore. He lifted the big rifle and swung the lever over to throw a shell into the chamber. And then he let down the hammer.
So, now we must be ready for what may happen.
The trail grew very steep. Now the redwood trees were smaller and their tops were dead, bitten dead where the wind reached them. The horse plodded on. The sun went slowly overhead and started down toward the afternoon. As soon as the trail had parted from the stream, the trees were gone, and only the thick, brittle sage and manzanita and chaparral edged the trail.
Now I am in the open. I can be seen from a distance. The further I go, the more rough is the country and the more dry it becomes. I must drink only a little water at a time.
The way wound about the bases of great square rocks. Eastward, the bare rocky mountain tops were pale and powdered dry under the dropping sun. The horse plodded on and up the trail toward a little V in the ridge, which was the pass. Pepe looked suspiciously back every minute or so, and his eyes sought the tops of the ridges ahead. The air was parched and full of light dust blown by the breeze from the eroding mountain. Pepe drank from his bag and corked it tightly and hung it on the horn again. The trail moved up the dry, stale hillside, avoiding rocks, dropping under cliffs, climbing in and out of old water scars. When he arrived at the little pass, he stopped and looked back for a long time. The trail behind was empty. Only the high tops of the redwoods indicated where the stream flowed. Pepe rode on through the moss.
Oh, I have never been so tired. My eyes are so heavy, I can hardly lift lids with my fingers. I can't stop now. I must go on.
The high mountain wind coasted sighing through the pass and whistled on the edges of the big blocks of broken granite. Pepe went slowly through the broken, jagged pass and looked down on the other side. The trail dropped quickly, staggering among broken rock. At the bottom of the slope, there was a dark crease, thick with brush, and on the other side of the crease, a little flat in which a grove of oak trees grew. A scar of green grass cut out across the flat. And behind the flat, another mountain rose, desolate with dead rocks and starving little black bushes. Pepe drank from the bag again, for the air was so dry it encrusted his nostrils and burned his lips. Finally, he rode out over the flat to the green streak, and at the upper end of the damp, he found a little spring welling out of the earth and dropping into a dug basin before it seeped out over the flat.
Once more, I am lucky with the water. If only I had my knife with which to cut the jerky. But now my father's knife is gone forever.
The moon came up and filled the valley with a cold blue light, and the wind swept rustling down from the peaks. Pepe muttered his prayers, put his head on his arm, and went instantly to sleep.
I must move quickly. They're close by. I wonder how long that I've slept. That's it. Water sack. Jerky. I've lost my hat. Too late to look now. I must go.
It was velvet dark. The moon had slipped behind the western ridge, leaving the valley in darkness behind it. The horse had struggled far up the trail when the first change of dawn came into the air. The steel grayness of light mixed thoroughly with dark. The sharp, snuggled edge of the ridge stood out above them, rotten granite tortured and eaten by winds of time. Gradually, the light flowed down over the ridge. The starved brush and rocks stood out in the half-light, strange and lonely in high perspective. Then there came warmth into the light.
The sky is turning blue. I can see no one down there in the valley from which I come. They've shot my horse. That was close. There is so little cover. What can I do?
He crawled up the hill on his knees and one hand. His right hand held the rifle up off the ground and pushed it ahead of him. He moved with the instinctive care of an animal. Rapidly, he wormed his way towards one of the big outcroppings of granite on the hill above him. Where the brush was high, he doubled up and ran. But where the cover was slight, he wriggled forward on his stomach, pushing his rifle ahead of him. In the last little distance, there was no cover at all. Pepe poised and then darted across the space and flashed around the corner of the rock. He leaned panting against the stone. When his breath came easier, he moved along behind the big rock until he came to a narrow split. A split that appeared to have a thin section of vision down the hill. The sun reddened the western ridges, and already the buzzards were settling down toward the place where the horse lay. Pepe lay on his stomach and pushed the rifle hard through the slit and waited.
There was a movement down there. I'm sure of it. See, there it is again. About a quarter of a mile down there. I must sight carefully. There it is again. Now. Now it is still. My hand. The bullet. No. It is a sharp piece of stone between the knuckles. Pull it out. There, down there. The wound is bleeding even. Nothing inside is cut. I can block it with the spider's web. That's better. The bleeding has nearly stopped already.
The rifle was on the ground. Pepe picked it up, levered a new shell into the chamber, and then slid into the bush on his stomach. Far to the right he crawled, and then up the hill, moving slowly and carefully, crawling to cover and resting, and then crawling again. Pepe crawled in the general direction of the ridge peak, zigzagging for cover. The deep cut between his knuckles began to throb. When the sun slid past noon, he hadn't gone a mile. He was pushing the rifle with his left hand now. His lips and tongue were growing thick and heavy. At last, he crawled desperately into a patch of high, sharp manzanita and dropped his head on his left arm. He went to sleep as he lay, and the sun beat on his back. The sun went down behind the peaks, and the cool evening came, and then it was dark. After a while, the old moon came up and showed the jagged ridge on top ahead of him. His hand was swollen and heavy. A little thread of pain ran up the inside of his arm and settled in a pocket in his armpit. The moon was at meridian when Pepe came at last to the sharp backbone of the ridgetop, and the last 100 yards was on solid rock.
I thought I would never make it. I must go on. I must. It's the bottom of this cut. The brush is thick and dark. Maybe there's water down there. I must try and get there. It is easier down here.
On the other side, the hill rose up sharply, and at the top, the jagged, rotten teeth of the mountain showed against the sky. At the bottom, Pepe crawled into the heavy brush, feeling with his fingers for water. There was no water in the bed of the stream, only damp earth. Pepe laid his gun down and scooped up a handful of mud and put it into his mouth.
The mud draws my mouth like a poultice. I must dig into the bed with my fingers. I can make a basin to catch the water.
Pepe's brain spun in a big spiral up and away from him. The moon moved over the sky. Pepe half turned on his back. He tried to make words, but only a thick hissing came from between his lips. When the dawn came, Pepe pulled himself up. His eyes were clear again. He drew his great popped arm in front of him and looked at the angry wound. The black line ran up from his wrist to his armpit.
Must cut it open. Where is my knife? I must cut it open. Oh, I'd forgotten. A sharp stone. That... I'll do it. That's it.
Pepe's whole right side shuddered at the pain, but the pain had cleared his head. In the gray light, he struggled up the last slope to the ridges and crawled over and lay down behind a line of rocks. Below him lay a deep canyon exactly like the last, waterless and desolate. There was no flat, no oak trees, not even heavy brush at the bottom of it. And on the other side, a sharp ridge stood up, thinly brushed with sage, littered with broken granite. The new day was light now. The flame of the sun came over the ridge and fell on Pepe where he lay on the ground. His coarse black hair was littered with twigs and bits of spiderweb. His eyes had retreated back into his head. Between his lips, the tip of his black tongue showed. He sat up and dragged his great arm into his lap and nursed it, rocking his body and moaning in his throat. He threw back his head and looked up into the pale sky. A big black bird circled nearly out of sight, and far to the left another was sailing near. He lifted his head to listen, for a familiar sound had come to him from the valley he'd climbed out of. It was the crying yelp of hounds excited on a trail. Pepe bowed his head quickly. He tried to speak rapid words, but only a thick hiss came from his lips. He drew a shaky cross across his breast with his left hand. It was a long struggle to get to his feet. He crawled slowly and mechanically to the top of a big rock on the ridge peak. Once there, he rose slowly, swaying to his feet, and stood erect. Far below, he could see the dark brush where he'd slept. He braced his feet and stood there, black against the morning sky. There came a ripping sound at his feet. A piece of stone flew up and a bullet droned off into the next gorge. Pepe looked down for a moment and then pulled himself straight again. His body jarred back. His left hand fluttered helplessly towards his breast. Pepe swayed forward and toppled from the rock. His body struck and rolled over and over, starting a little avalanche. When at last he stopped against a bush, the avalanche slid slowly down and covered up his head.
Ever had a frosty can of beer and no can opener? Frustrating, huh? But that was then. Now it's pop, peel, pour. America's lusty, lively beer, Carling Black Label in sensational new ring pull cans. You wrap your finger through the ring, pull, and pour. That's Carling Black Label in new ring pull cans,
On sale in the Transvaal, Orange Free State, and Northwestern Cape, and now also in Natal. Coming to the Cape Province before long.
Tonight's Carling Country Story was written by the American master John Steinbeck, and the music was especially composed by Sam Splair. Next week, be sure to listen to the story of one of man's greatest achievements, the conquest of space, the story of Major Gordon Cooper in Carling Country.
And now, Carling Country. Carling, world brewers of the great American beer, present stories from America's foremost authors. Stories of trial and endeavor, of the courage of people. Stories from Carling Country.
Tonight's Carling Country brings you When You Think of Me, a tender story by Erskine Caldwell, one of America's best-selling authors.
If you owned a Carling brewery, how would you supply this great beer to people who were far from you? At Carling, we go to the people and brew on the spot. Our philosophy on every can tells why. Time, the maker of beer, can also be the great destroyer. Shipped all the way from America, our great Carling Black Label beer might just lose the lusty, lively taste that makes it great. We couldn't take that risk. That's why we now brew in 12 breweries around the world, as well as in 7 states in America. Carling Black Label is brewed in South Africa and is on sale in the Transvaal, Orange Free State, and Northwestern Cape, and now also in Natal, coming to the Cape Province before long. Carling Black Label, America's lusty, lively beer.
How close are we to Ridgeway, Porter?
You must have asked me that a dozen times, Corporal. It ain't far now. Why, there's that big cornfield out there now. Yeah, when we pass that, Ridgeway's sure to be dead ahead. Is Ridgeway where you live, Corporal?
You bet it is. I wonder if the town's changed much since I've been gone.
No, sir, it ain't changed. Ain't nothing in this country changed much since I remember it. And I sure wouldn't want to see it change either way, good or bad. You been gone long, Corporal?
4 years. And that's long enough, too.
Oh, you been in the war?
That's right. Africa, Italy, France.
My. Well, maybe you won't be satisfied to stay settled down in a little town like Ridgeway after being in all those big places of the world.
Don't you worry about that. I'm settling all right. There, see? That's Churchman's Creek and the Palmer's Farm. And that's the dirt road to Jim Foster's house. Jim, I sure hate to be coming home without you.
What's that you say, Corporal?
What? Nothing.
I'll get your bags.
Mom.
Teddy. Oh, Teddy.
Mom, I'm sure glad to be home. Dad. Dad.
Hello, Ted. Gee, son.
Oh, they've got a hero's welcome for your son.
Oh, I don't want anything like that. It's all wrong. The real guys stayed over there. They didn't come back. The guys like Jim Foster. The real guys are dead.
Oh, come on, son. Nancy's waiting back home.
Nancy?
Nancy Glennon. You want to see Nancy, don't you?
No, not now. I don't want to see her now.
Well, like the new house, son?
Yeah, sure. But haven't you got the farm?
Yeah, the farm's still there. Waiting for you if you want it. But the work was too much for you, Ma, and, well, everything's more convenient now.
But this isn't home to me.
Now, sit down, son. You're plumb tired out by the excitement.
I want to go to the farm. I want to go right away.
Whatever's wrong, son?
I can't stand it here. I want to go to the farm right away. It's too crowded here. The houses are too close together. Those people out there walking on the street, why, they're strangers. They don't know what happened. They even look like they don't know what happened.
Happened? Happened where, Teddy?
Where I was.
We'll go to the farm right after dinner, son. Hey, I'll bet you're hungry for some of Mom's home cooking.
Yeah, I am, Mom. Gee, I sure am. Ed Fuller still handyman on the farm, Dad?
Sure. Ed's still there. Here he comes now, heading up from the barn.
This is the grandest sight in the world.
Why, Teddy, I knew you'd come back, Teddy. Didn't I tell you that when you went away? Didn't I say that nothing on earth could keep you from coming back?
You were right about that, Eddie.
You gonna stay the night here, son?
Yeah, Ed. I'm here to stay.
Beans is the finest food a human being can put in his stomach. I never would be able to do the work around this farm without a meal of beans.
Thanks, Eddie.
Of course, I don't know how you're going to like living here with no women folks around. You thinking of getting married?
Yes.
That's it. Enjoy a woman's cooking. Nancy Glennon's a sweet girl, and she's been wearing your ring and waiting for you ever since you went away. She's about the sweetest, prettiest girl around here. Now, you eat up your beans, Teddy.
I don't feel hungry.
Hi, Ted.
Hi, Nancy.
Ted? Oh, Ted, it's me, Nancy.
Hello, Nancy.
I'm Nancy, Ted. Don't you remember me at all? Oh, Ted, what happened?
I'm sorry, Nancy.
I might have known something had happened when you let us stop coming 6 months ago. Is it somebody else? Oh, tell me the truth, Ted. I've got to know.
It's not easy to explain, Nancy.
Don't you remember when we spent that day at Churchman's Creek and you asked me to marry you? You can't have forgotten that.
No. It was a swell day, Nancy. And I haven't forgotten anything. I haven't forgotten a single minute. I remember everything, not only about us, but about other things.
Look at me, Ted. Look me in the face and tell me.
You remember Jim Foster, Nancy? Well, Jim Foster...
But Ted, it's you I'm talking about, not Jim.
But Jim's got a lot to do with this, Nancy.
You called me darling. You said you loved me. Now? Oh, I never thought it'd be like this.
Nancy, I can't. I'm sorry.
All right, Ted.
There's nothing more to say, is there?
No. There's nothing more to say.
It's all different from when we spent that day at Churchman's Creek, isn't it? Then you said...
Yes, that's it. I know what I said. There'll never be anyone else, Nancy. Only you. When I get back from this war, we'll be married. You'll wait for me, Nancy. Say you will. Please say you'll be waiting.
Of course, I'll be waiting, darling. Don't ever for a second think anything else. I'm yours for always, Ted.
You know what we're going to do when I come back, Nancy?
Get married, just like you said.
We're going to have the finest stock farm anybody ever saw. Mostly horses, I think. Fine horses. Thoroughbreds.
No cows, Ted?
Well, maybe a few. We'll need milk and butter for the, what-you-call-them.
And what you call them, Ted?
Oh, those little things that toddle around the house.
Ducks?
Ducks don't toddle, they waddle.
Oh, I know. You mean young calves and colts.
Come here, you know what I mean.
Oh.
I'm leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning, Nancy. I won't see you again.
Don't say that, Ted. Please say you'll come back. Promise me you won't let anything happen to you. For our sake.
I didn't mean it that way, Nancy. Of course I'll come back. I'm coming back as sure as the sun will rise every morning when I'm away. Every time the sun comes up in the morning, it'll be a sign I'm coming back.
Oh, yes, Ted. I'll remember that. I'll look at the sun every morning and remember what you said. And will you love me as much when you come back as you do now, Ted?
Oh, this is only the beginning, Nancy. You just wait and see. The way I love you now is only a sample. You'll find out what I mean when I come back.
Oh, yes, darling. Yes, darling. Seems a long time ago now, doesn't it, Ted?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Nancy, but that's the way it is.
Very well.
Oh, Nancy, don't leave like that.
I'd expect her to leave.
Nancy, come back.
Now, America's lusty, lively beer, Carling Black Label. Man, oh man, this is what real beer is all about. Strong, husky, lusty to the last lively drop. Carling Black Label is enjoyed all over America and in 50 countries around the world. Any beer this popular you should ask for. Go for the man's brand, America's own Carling Black Label beer, and get that lusty, lively taste that makes the difference. Carling Black Label is brewed in South Africa and is on sale in the Transvaal, Orange Free State, and Northwestern Cape, and now also in Natal, coming to the Cape Province before long. Carling Black Label, America's lusty, lively beer.
We just thought we'd come out for the afternoon, Ted. I baked some ice for you.
Thanks, Mom.
They're in the basket over there with some fried chicken and rolls. Now, I better get this house in some kind of shape. I'll just get a duster.
Are you and Dad thinking of moving back to the farm?
Oh, no, Ted. But I've got to prepare this house. I wouldn't dream of letting anybody come here and find the place all dusty and dirty.
Who's coming, Mom?
Who's coming? Why, Ted, you know as well as I do.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mom.
Nancy, of course. Nancy Glennon. You and Nancy are going to be married, aren't you, Ted?
No.
No?
No, Mom. I guess I'll be getting married. Somebody else.
Somebody else? Who? Who in the world?
Lawrence Warren.
I didn't know. Lawrence was to be married to Jim Foster. If Jim hadn't been killed in the war...
Maybe that's why I'm asking her to marry me. Because Jim was killed.
I just don't understand you.
I don't expect anybody to understand except Jim and me.
Does Florence know about this wild scheme of yours, Ted?
Not yet, Mom. I haven't had the chance to ask her yet.
Are you sure you're feeling all right, Ted?
Sure, I feel fine.
Oh, it's you, Ted Burton.
Yeah, I came around to apologize for the way I behaved.
You owe me no apology, Ted Burton, and that takes care of that.
You've got to listen to me, Nancy, please.
Come on in. Did I have to listen to you?
I mean, I want you to.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? There's another girl.
Yes, but it's...
I don't think I'd be interested in the intimate details.
Please.
No. Don't touch me, Ted. Please. Let me go.
Nancy, I love you. I've loved you every minute while I was away. You believe me, don't you?
Ted, how can I believe you? They say some men are never the same after a war. You're going to marry somebody else, but you love me. Oh, I never heard of such a thing. I suppose it's one of those peculiar loves you picked up on your travels.
Maybe it does sound peculiar back here.
I want nothing to do with it.
You'll be laughing and joking with your buddies one minute and the next. Well, you might have to stay with a man until he died, and that was all you could do for him. People here at home wouldn't understand. All you knew was that your buddy was dead. That puts a queer feeling in a man.
What is it, Ted? What are you trying to say?
That night in Italy, that's what it was. Jim Foster. Well, you know Jim. We did everything together.
I knew you were close friends, Ted.
Jim was the best friend I ever had. There was one time when we were in a tough spot over there, and he saved my life. Jim saved my life, Nancy. He didn't have to, but he did.
Tell me about it, Ted.
Well, the way it happened, we'd been up at the front for a week. It was middle of winter with snow covering everything. Jim got orders to take a 5-man patrol through the lines and bring back some prisoners for questioning. And I went with Jim.
There's 4 or 5 enemy soldiers manning a machine gun post forward. We're going to surround them, okay?
Sure. Anything you say, Jim.
Come on in, boys. Let's go collect them. Okay, you guys. Hands up. You won't get shot. Come on your feet now. Coming on. Come on, we're taking you back.
Jim, there's more of them coming up. Company strength, I'd say.
Well, let's get out of here. Guard the prisoners, Jack. Ted and I can hold the rear.
Here they come. You hit Jim.
Keep firing.
Jim, you're bleeding.
Get the prisoners down the ravine. That's an order.
Jim, you hurt bad.
It's all over for me. Just obey orders, Ted.
Listen, boy, we can give up. Then you'll get first aid. You'll be okay.
Get those prisoners back to the captain.
But you'll die, Jim. You won't last half an hour bleeding the way you are. Let's get a dressing on that wound, boy.
I can hold them off if you do as I say. Just get going, Ted.
Jim, I'm going to yell out and tell them we surrender.
Open your mouth, and I'll shoot you dead.
Listen to me. We won't lose the war because 2 guys give up. We're surrounded. The rest are dead. There's only you and me left and 2 prisoners. You know what the captain would say? He'd say we did the right thing. Jim, they don't expect us to commit suicide just to bring back 2 prisoners.
We don't give up that easy, buddy. We were sent out to get prisoners. The night's not over yet. I'm staying here. And you got your orders.
We can carry you back. Look, the prisoners can carry you.
Look. The minute we leave, they'll attack. I'll stay here and keep popping away at them. I can keep going as long as I've got somebody to shoot. Now will you get out of here?
Jim, is there nothing I can do for you?
Sure. One thing. I want only one favor.
Sure. I promise on my word of honor to do anything in the world you want.
All right. I'll tell you what it is, Ted. I've got me a girl back home. Flo Warren. You know all about that. She's got my ring. We were going to be married the moment I set foot back in Ridgeway. You know you've got a girl back home, Ted. Nancy. But what about Flo Warren, Jim? I swear I'll do anything in the world you want. She's my girl, Ted. I'll die loving her. Tell her I tried to get back and marry her, but I couldn't make it. Tell her I have to stay here. I'm afraid, Ted, she might let him. I don't want that to happen when I'm dead and can't do anything about it. No, you've got Nancy waiting at home. But look after her, Ted. Now, get going. Get going. Good luck. I'm staying with you. You're moving out, and that's an order. Go on. Move or I'll kill you. Come on. Get out of here. Look after. Oh. And Nancy, I heard him firing for a while. Then they put heavy attack, and I heard the grenades exploding. Then, nothing. I didn't look back.
I don't know what to say, Ted. I think I know how you feel, but I don't know what to say.
I counted so much on coming back to you, Nancy. Nobody in the world knows what it means to me. I thought all the time about marrying you and living here on the farm together. That's all I did think about. But I can't forget Jim Foster.
I think I understand, Ted.
If Jim hadn't sent me away that night in Italy, I wouldn't be here now.
You can't let him down. I see that.
When you think about it a lot the way I do, you get to thinking Jim wasn't the only one either. Thousands of guys died the way he did. That's why I came back alive. I just can't let Jim down. I just can't do it.
I know. I understand now, Jim. I think I do anyway. Why, Ted, come along in.
Flo, you know why I've called?
Sit down, Ted, and tell me about it.
Mind if I stand? I'm kind of tensed up.
I know how you must feel. Jim was a wonderful guy.
He was the greatest guy ever lived, Flo. I know why he wanted one of us to come back alive. He hadn't any chance, but he wanted me to come back. Yeah, he figured I had the best chance.
Come and sit down here beside me, Ted, and try to tell me what you want to say.
Now, Flo, I'm not much good talking. I want to marry you, Flo. Well, after knowing Jim, I'm afraid you won't be very happy with me. Now, I'm a poor second best, Flo.
I'm not going to marry you, Jim. Not for anything in the world.
Jim wanted it that way, Flo.
No. I've got something to show you, Ted.
Flo, I promised that...
These are his letters, Ted. I know Jim. And slowly I'm beginning to know him a lot better. Even better than you. Here's a letter Jim wrote me a long time ago.
Let's see. That was soon after we landed in Italy.
Yes. He wrote me that no matter what happened, even if he died over there, he always wanted me to be friendly. That's how he put it. To be friendly with you and Nancy.
He thought he wasn't coming back?
At the time, I thought it was strange he should say something like that. Or maybe it was because I didn't want to know what he meant. Maybe I didn't even want to think that he could...
Expect
Yes, that's it exactly. I didn't even want to think that he could expect me to know what he meant. But that's what he wanted me to understand. He wanted me to know that without him, he expected me to be friendly with you and Nancy.
He gave his life for me.
And he didn't want me to become bitter and resentful towards you and Nancy if I found out he sacrificed his life to save yours. He didn't want bitterness to spoil the lives of any of us. Yours, or Nancy's, or mine.
Flo.
And it won't, Ted. Please believe me. Jim knew that when the time came. And he wrote me in such a way that I had to know and understand what to do. That's why he asked you to come to me, Ted. He knew I could explain things a lot better than he could at a time like that.
Thanks, Flo. I wanted to marry you. Maybe it would even have worked out. But you've made me see it the way he saw it now.
Go back to Nancy, Ted. Tell her I always want to be her friend.
Hello, Nancy.
Oh, you don't have to say it. I can see it in your face. You're come back to me.
Yeah. Flo said she wants to be your friend.
Oh, always, Ted.
A lot of people in this town will never realize what Jim Foster did for them. I wish there was some way to make them understand, like Flo Warren does. They think he was just one of the guys who was killed in the war because he was careless or because of an accident. And they don't know there were other ways to die in the war.
Lots of people will remember him, Ted. They'll know if you tell them.
If they would put up a monument to him sky high, it wouldn't be enough for a guy like him. We're going to remember him, Nancy, as long as we live.
Tonight's story from Carling Country was written by the renowned Erskine Caldwell, and the music was especially composed by Sam Sclair. Next week, you can hear John Steinbeck's great story of a fugitive in Flight, another classic from the world of literature in Carling Country.
And now, Carling Country. Carling, world brewers of the great American beer, present stories from America's foremost authors. Stories of trial and endeavor, of the courage of people. Stories from Carling Country.
Tonight, Carling Country presents a story of deceit that takes place in the desert wastes of Southwest Africa. Illicit diamond buying and high tension in the story called The Skeleton Coast Incident.
It started in the Transvaal, swept through the Orange Free State like a prairie fire. then set Natal alight and glowing. Now it's being hailed in every corner of the Cape Province, wherever men get together for a beer.
Oh, thanks. Mine's a black label.
Yeah, that's the beer for men.
The beer that has won over the taste of men, America's lusty, lively Carling Black Label. Man, oh man, this is what real beer is all about. Strong, husky, lusty to the last lively drop. This is the man's brand, Carling's Extra Strength Black Label beer, now brewed in South Africa and on sale throughout the Republic. Get to know it, and you'll stay with it. It's that sort of beer.
Sitting in the lounge of the Fisherman's Arms in Swakopmund in southwest Africa, doing very little but needing money to get out of there. Man was sitting opposite me, managing to look cool, and as if she still had enormous faith in me. All I had in the world was a light aircraft and no petrol, and a hotel bill. There was a little shadow under Nan's eyes that said that she, too, was worrying about the hotel bill. By the way, my name is Don Graham, and Nan has the misfortune to be my wife. Poor kid. Well, nothing for it. I guess we'll have to sell the kite.
Oh, Don, you can't. Not after the way you worked for it.
No choice, have we?
If you could arrange a loan, perhaps.
A loan? On what? We've already pawned your engagement ring.
What happened about the whale spotting job?
Well, Svensson's a crazy man, but that wouldn't matter if I was sure there was money in it. Well, let's go down to the harbor anyhow. We could do worse, I guess. There's the whaling factory ship lying offshore. I think Svensson's probably aboard one of the little catching ships. Chasers, they call them.
Oh, they look awfully small.
Yeah, I get seasick looking at them. Hi, Svensson.
Hi, yourself. Come aboard.
Sven, I want you to meet my wife, Nan.
Oh, hi.
Sven's harmless, Nan. He just looks that way.
Hello, Mrs. Graham. Well, Don is a lucky person.
You're telling me.
Come, I'll show you around the ship. Oh, here, careful coming up on the platform, Mrs. Graham. Here we are. This is the harpoon gun. Every time I fire, Dutschgut. That shot.
What kind of charge fires these guns, Sven?
Same as a 4-inch gun. There's a rubber bung the harpoon sits on, like a launching pad. And screwed on the nose of the harpoon is the grenade. It explodes on contact.
And the rope?
Well, it's flaked down there, see? Nylon lines these days, not the old heavy manila. Now, let's talk business, huh?
Well, we talk business. He was all for making a hard bargain. A cautious Norwegian whaleman always will. I told him I'd think it over. But when we got back to the hotel, there was a man wanted to see me, and I met him in the bar. His name was McAllister, a Scot with an open face and untidy hair. A man you couldn't help liking.
So there you are. It's a charter flight, and I'll pay you well.
Just as long as you understand that this is diamond country. I'll have to talk to the authorities, you understand that? They're suspicious about people just flying about gaily over the Skeleton Coast. And I'm not a South African citizen either.
Take it from me, Mr. Graham, I have nothing to hide. The facts are on record. You remember the liner Tamarisk?
Yeah, she was torpedoed during the war, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's right. She went down off the coast.
But there's nothing left but a rotting hulk under the water, just offshore. The tide races in there, and you couldn't reach her anyway if you're thinking of salvage.
Salvage? I suppose you might call it salvage, Mr. Graham. I'm trying to save my own soul.
I don't think I quite follow you.
The Tamarisk went down quickly. and only a handful of people got ashore. They were eventually taken off by aircraft. All but two, that is. My brother, Peter McAllister, was one of those two. He died from exposure.
Yeah, I get it. But why go there now?
The dead are dead, true enough. My father and mother are dead, too. Before my father died, I promised him I'd travel out to the lonely spot where Peter had lost his life after saving the lives of others. I said I'd put the grave to rights and bring back a photograph of it. Well, I never did.
Yeah, I guess all of us have stories like that in the past.
I was fond of Peter, and he died a hero's death. I'm not over sentimental. Most of my life's been given to making money. But, well, there it is. That's the story.
It's easy to see a man could feel that way about his own brother. Or about a buddy, come to that. Sure, people do make sentimental journeys.
Then you'll take me.
Yeah, but with the reservations I mentioned, sure.
The facts can easily be checked by the authorities.
Oh, I don't disbelieve you myself, but the touchiest subject here is what they call IDB, illicit diamond buying. It usually involves the theft of diamonds from the mines, to start with.
I've heard something about that.
Let me say frankly that if you have anything like that in mind, forget it, here and now. You won't get away with it. Once upon a time, maybe. Not today.
Nothing's further from my mind, Mr. Graham. You know the coast well, I suspect.
Reasonably. I was flying for Western Concessions when they were prospecting for diamonds in the old riverbeds. It came to nothing, and I was left holding the bag. You know how it is. Bankruptcy. What does it get you trying to sue for your money?
Frankly, I wondered what you were doing here.
Well, that's my sad story. Forget it. Okay, then. It's a deal. Shake on it.
Of course.
We'll take off at dawn tomorrow. If I'd had any sense, I would have gone out then and got myself arrested. The Skeleton Coast is grief for any man. Fascinating grief, like a too beautiful woman or a dangerous airplane. But grief, just the same. Nan warned me, but I wouldn't listen.
Don, you must be out of your mind.
We need the money, baby. Drink?
I need you more than all the money in the world, you crazy man. Oh, no, thanks. No drink.
Mind if I do?
I can't stop you, can I? When could I ever stop you? That is a landing on soft sand out there.
There's Western Concessions' old airstrip, a mile from the coast.
For all you know, there's a sand dune across it by now.
For all we know, there isn't.
And this McAllister, what do we know about him after all?
I'm a good judge of people, man. He's a nice guy. Any man who would travel all those miles to put his brother's grave to rights would be a nice guy.
Don, do you honestly believe that story?
Oh, for crying in a bucket, baby. The security boys have checked on him. The story's true in every detail. Man, there isn't much danger. And life's dangerous anyway. Cheers, doll. And stop worrying, will you?
All right. To your crazy expedition. And, oh, Don, take care of yourself. Don, I love you so.
I'll never know why. See you soon, chick. It'll be okay, you'll see. Oh, one thing you can do.
Uh-huh.
Tell Sven I'll take the charter and see him in a day or so. Check?
Check. I suppose I just worry too much.
We can go now. I've registered the flight plan. They've approved.
Great. I don't know what it means to me.
Well, maybe I can guess a bit. I had a kid brother killed in Vietnam. Climb aboard.
Benson, ahoy!
Ah, Mrs. Graham. Come aboard. That's her there. I saw Don's aircraft take off.
Yeah, he has a short charter. Said he'd see you in a day or two. I advised him not to take the charter, but, well, you know Don.
Ah, sure. But the man has a living to make. Now, what's wrong with the charter?
A man wants to fly to the Skeleton Coast to see his brother's grave. The brother died of exposure after a ship called the Tamarisk sank there in the war. over 20 years ago, Sven. Does it make sense?
Maybe to some men. Sure, I reckon it might. Only thing is, remember, Don can take care of himself. Like I say, person must earn his living the best he can. Now come on in the cabin. Tell me all about it.
There she is. See her?
No, bank over her.
Right. See? She's just a rusting hulk. You can see her when the surf clears at every wave.
Aye, I've spotted her now.
The landing strip is about a mile inland from here. We'll get this thing on the ground and then walk back. Well, we made it one way anyhow.
Thanks to you. A remarkable piece of piloting.
Thanks. It's quite a country, this. All sand dunes and rocks on the edge of the Namib Desert. The Great Thirst Land.
Uh-huh. Yet men have traveled through it.
Sure. They say you can find water if you know where to look. I'd hate to try it myself.
I wouldn't know how to start trying. Shall we take the gear and head back for the coast?
Yeah. We'll travel on the compass. It's easy to get lost among the dunes. Let's get the kit unpacked.
We took the provisions we'd bought and headed back for the coast. McAllister carried a short entrenching spade, the sort the Army uses. It reminded me of the reason for our journey, a tribute to death.
Here, this is it.
Yes. Peter McAllister died 1943. That's his grave, all right. Here, take the spade.
Take the spade? What for?
To dig with.
But why dig, anyway? And why me? Hey, what are you supposed to be doing?
I'm standing at a safe distance, you poor mug, with this gun trained on you. Those spades can be deadly weapons at close quarters. Here now, just start digging.
Discovering that McAllister was, well, whatever he was. But the gun in his hand was steady, and he seemed to know how to use it. So I began to dig, scared of what I might find. The heat was like the glow of a blast furnace, and the eternal waves of the skeleton coast crashed in against the long sand beaches.
McAllister, you're crazy.
That isn't really a grave, and I'm not really called McAllister.
When I said you were crazy, I didn't mean that. How can you hope to fly that aircraft back without me?
I'm at least as good as you are, Graham. Go on digging.
You mean you're a pilot?
Right first time. I said go on digging. You said that Western Concessions went bankrupt. Ever wonder why?
You tell me.
They had a job foreman named Kirkdale. Lonnie Kirkdale.
I know. So what?
I hate to say this about any man, but he was dishonest. He didn't hand over all the stones they found in the old bed of the Mutab River. He dug a nice deep hole and buried them on the foreshore. Then he just moved the marker from Peter McAllister's grave. Shameful thing to do, but it marked the diamond cache.
How did you discover this?
Keep digging and I'll tell you. I met Kirkdale in a bar in Johannesburg. He was broke, begging for drinks, with a fortune in his cash out here on the coast that was driving him mad.
So he told you?
I heard that I was a pilot and, shall we say, slightly sharp. He needed help to recover the stones.
Where's Kirkdale now?
Oh, as you'd expect with a dishonest man, he came to a thoroughly bad end. Nobody will ever find his grave either.
You can't get away with this.
Oh, that's a line from a cheap film. I've been getting away with things all my life. I'll refuel at Swakopmund, take off again immediately to rescue you, Don. Once I touch Johannesburg, they'll never find me. Hit it? Good. So Kirkdale wasn't lying. Just drop the spade and back away. Don't try anything.
Don't worry. I won't.
Keep going. A tin box full of pretties, just as Kirkdale said. The clippies, the shining stones. Translated in terms of the sweet life, this is quite a discovery, Graham.
What are you going to do with me?
I'll decide later.
Get rid of me the way you did Kirkdale?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll just take off and let you walk home. I'll say hello to your wife for you, fair enough.
Better shoot me now, McAllister, or whatever your name is.
Oh, like it fast and easy.
Because I'll see you hang for Kirkdale if you leave me.
Oh, don't be dramatic. I don't want your body found with a bullet hole, that's all. Now walk in front of me to the aircraft. Wish me luck, Graham. No, I wish you luck. Truly, Graham. Now back away from the plane. 100 yards will do. That's far enough. Well, top scenes, and you know what they scribble on the walls, Graham. Yankee, go home if you can.
So he left me standing, literally. I had practically no water and not much food. No way of contacting anybody. I had a compass. It was then I remembered the deserted camp of the Western Concession Company, half a mile from the airstrip. There should have been a radio transmitter there, but when I found it, of course, there was no power. I lay down in one of the shacks and went to sleep after a while. I wasn't going to be caught out among the dunes in the dark. I remember thinking about Nan, wondering if she might suspect anything and what she might do about it.
Hi, Spencer.
Hello. Come aboard. You hear anything from Don?
Oh, no. It's worrying me. I expected him to call through on the transmitter and say goodnight. He always does.
And nothing this morning?
No, not a thing.
I was just fixing to test this harpoon gun, but of course that can wait. Let's just walk ashore and check with the airport control. There's a telephone in the harbor master's office.
Oh, that's a good idea. He should be on his way back now, Sven, and he's bound to report.
Maybe his radio's on the blink.
Oh, how likely is that?
Well, it happens sometimes. You know exactly where he was headed?
For the wreck of the Tamarisk, as I understood it.
I tell you what, if he hasn't been through to ground control at the airport, we'll come back to the whaling ships and get through to Southwest African Police air patrols on shortwave. They can check if there's anything suspicious.
Like a burned-out airplane that tipped over in the sand? Oh, Steve, I'm scared.
Oh, there's nothing more wrong, probably, than a fault in the radio sets. If they go wrong, our shortwave sets aboard the catchers sometimes do.
You know it's unlikely.
Sometimes the unlikely is exactly what happens.
I had a hunch. Perhaps I'm imagining things. Oh, so easy to be smart after the event, as the man says. But I didn't like McAllister or the trip.
Let's check up with the police. Come on.
I found a water tank half filled with brackish water. I sipped at it, ate the last of the food we brought with us. Every instinct tried to force me to reach civilization. Here, there was only the sound of the wind in the empty camp and the far-off thump of seas against the shore. So I forced myself to stay in the shade and stay quiet. The betting was that somebody would discover what had happened within a day or so. If I stayed put, they'd look for me. If I tried to walk, I'd walk into death. Not for the first time, all my hopes were on Nan.
Well, that is that, Nan. Whatever has happened, it's been taken care of. The police patrol planes will look in at the old Western concessions camp and report. If they find Don's aircraft, they'll investigate. If they don't, they'll flash us back here and a search can begin.
Oh, you've been marvelous, Sven.
I just like your crazy husband, that's all. He's got what it takes, and I wish he'd work with me.
But I'm still scared, Sven.
I don't blame you.
Oh, gee, thanks for everything, Sven.
Well, I'll just turn the radio on and see. But that sounds familiar.
It's Don. Sven, it's Don's aircraft.
It's coming in too low. That isn't like Don. Maybe it's in trouble.
Well, the motor sounds okay.
Just hand me the glasses, binoculars. They're on the shelf under the chart table. Thanks. Just focus on him. Right. Nan, there's only one man in that plane, and it isn't Don.
What?
See if you can make anything out of it.
Give me the binoculars. Sven, that's McAllister, the man who chartered Don's plane.
Wilson, pull it up. I've got to take off immediately.
Where's Mr. Graham, sir?
He broke a leg. Oh, such a stupid accident. Slipped down the side of a dune. I'm picking up Dr. Lansing at Ottobisa and heading back.
Why come here, then?
Oh, use your head, man. I didn't trust the fuel supply. And don't worry if you'll get paid for the petrol. Here, I didn't bring Graham back with a compound fracture. Let the doc splint it on the spot. Here, take your money.
Oh, thanks. Hope Mr. Graham's going to be okay.
The quicker you get the tanks filled, the quicker I'll be able to fix him up.
Right. You can be off inside 5 minutes.
Thanks. Just lucky I can fly a kite, eh? Or we'd have been in a fine mess. As it is, we can save his life, if not his leg.
There may have been an accident, Sven. We can't be sure.
I'll contact the police on the radio. If there'd been an accident to Don, McAllister would have reported it to the police.
Perhaps he couldn't. Suppose he couldn't use the set.
Well, he flies well enough. GXTRD calling Southwest Africa Police Headquarters. GXTRD calling Southwest Africa Police Headquarters. Come in, please.
Southwest Africa Police Headquarters replying to GXTRD. Identify yourself.
This is the rail chaser M7 of the Svensson fleet. Over.
Go ahead. Over.
Have you any information on Mr. Graham, the pilot believed missing on the Skeleton Coast? Over.
One of our aircraft just picked him up. He'd been stranded on the coast by an IDB man named McAllister. Over.
That dirty murderer. He's here at Swakopmund Airport. Over.
He's wanted for 3 murders. The plane carries a fortune in stones. Over.
Then come and get him fast. Over.
We're on our way, and he's dangerous. He'll kill on sight. Over and out.
Thanks for the tip. Over and out.
The plane's taking off.
Come with me.
Where are we going?
The harpoon gun. Free harpoon with no line attached. Put in the charge, screw the grenade on the nose.
You can't, Sven, you can't.
Oh, you watch me.
Oh, don't. It's murder.
I'll see Don gets a new plane, man. This man is a killer, wanted by the police for murder.
Please don't.
He's coming in nice and low. As he turns, I'll have him. There.
No. Oh, no.
I feel the same as you, Nan. Sven should have left him to justice. But Sven's a hunter, and he was red with anger at the way Mac left me in the desert to die.
Let's forget it, my darling. Perhaps Mac himself would have chosen that way.
Rather than the trial and the rest, huh? Perhaps. Anyway, they've recovered the stones, and we get the reward. That means more than just a new plane, and the company offers to pay that anyway.
Don, you never feel you'd like to give up flying?
No, never. I'm sorry. Why don't I listen to you? But no, Nan, I don't want to give up flying. Not ever.
Then never let me force you into it. One thing I've learned about you, you're only happy if you're doing what you like best, darling.
It started in the Transvaal, swept through the Orange Free State like a prairie fire, then set Natal alight and glowing. Now it's being hailed in every corner of the Cape Province, wherever men get together for a beer.
Oh, thanks. Mine's a Black Label.
Yeah, that's the beer for men.
The beer that has won over the taste of men. America's lusty, lively, Carling Black Label. Man, oh man, this is what real beer is all about. Strong, husky, lusty to the last lively drop. This is the man's brand. Carling's Extra Strength Black Label beer. Now brewed in South Africa and on sale throughout the Republic. Get to know it, and you'll stay with it. It's that sort of beer.
Tonight's story from Carling Country was centered in the Namib Desert, Southwest Africa. Music especially composed by Sam Sclair. Next week, we present the story of a search in the tale called The Other Life, another in the absorbing series from Carling Country.
And now, Carling Country. Carling, world brewers of the great American beer, present stories from America's foremost authors. Stories of trial and endeavor, of the courage of people. Stories from Carling Country.
Tonight, Carling Country presents a story of intrigue, treachery, and murder among the prisoners in a Civil War prison camp during the war between the states. The Stockade by Glenn Hamilton.
When the sun burns straight overhead and the grass lies scorched underfoot, when the breeze is gone and the air hangs heavy as lead, when the red dust cakes on a man's face and the dryness bites deep in his throat, that's when a man needs a beer. Carling Black Label beer. Husky, lusty, and strong. Carling is the man's brand. Extra Strength Carling Black Label is now brewed right here in South Africa.
so you don't lose a day of that lusty, lively taste Carling is world famous for. If you've got a thirst, put our brand on it. Carling Black Label, brewed for men in 18 breweries around the world.
Lieutenant Adrian Curtis, sir. 27th Illinois Regiment of Infantry. Captured at Mary's Heights during the Battle of Fredericksburg, the war between the states. The year, 1862. When the rebel escort marched us south, 38 men and 1 officer, following Ambrose Burnside's folly across the river, we left 13,000 Union dead behind for a day's work, and no ground gained. The only men who went southern in the Union Army following Fredericksburg were the prisoners, us. And we went a long way, to the Arkansas Territory, and the Stockade at Yahoo Falls.
Prisoners detail, hold! Get ease. Lieutenant Abram Cole, 34th Alabama. From Texarkana by a route of march with 39 Yankee prisoners for Yahoo Falls. 32 enlisted men, 6 non-coms, 1 officer. Present and correct as per manifest. Open up the gate. Prisoners detained, head hut! Forward, hut!
I won't make no fancy speeches about welcome to Yahoo Falls. I'm commandant of this stockade at Yahoo Falls, Colonel Henry Soames. And I want you all to understand that I'll do all I can to help you men. In return, I demand discipline and soldierly behavior out of you. Now, this may sound like a big spiel and a warm, glad hand extended in your direction. Y'all think it is? I'm going to have to disillusion you. You've just marched south from Virginia to Arkansas, so the plot of the Confederate States can't be no secret to you. Fact of the matter is that thanks to this here war and the blockade by the Union Navy, the Confederacy is starving. You all have a right to cheer. You got a right. News like that will show you, Yankees, that from the war point of view, you're in the driver's seat. We ain't got enough to eat. We ain't got no clothes, no merchandise. And the Army of Northern Virginia, from Robert E. Lee to the lowest buck private, is walking around in wore-out boots. Unfortunately for you men, you're now the unwilling guests of the Confederate States. That means you got to share our misfortunes with us. We don't have enough to feed our own people. That means we don't have enough to feed you either. So, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry as all get out. But I'm going to level with you. While you're here, you're going to go hungry. While you're here, you're going to have to shift for yourselves. And while you're here, life ain't going to be easy. Just so you all know this from the word go. We'll do the best we can for you, Yankee boys, but times are coming when you're all going to say we ain't done enough. Just so you all know, when you see the rations you're getting exactly the same as the Confederate soldiers guarding you. And when you all start to get raggedy, well, we'll be getting raggedy with you. The only way we're going to prevail is to get this fool war done with.
Pull your finger out there.
That's been a mighty long speech I've given you after your long hike from Virginia. I got no more to say to you except one thing. I see you all got an officer with you. Would that gentleman please step forward where I can see you? Your name, sir? And your rank?
Curtis, sir. Adrian Curtis. First Lieutenant. Army of the Potomac.
Well delivered, sir, in a soldierly manner. Mr. Curtis, it is beyond my power to deal with every individual complaint brought to me by every Union soldier. There are just too many of you. But I like to keep my finger on the pulse, find out what's going on. So if there's any help needed by you men, I can try to give it.
Well, that's considerate, sir, and appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Here. Therefore, I delegate you, Mr. Curtis, to act as a go-between between the 38 men with you now and myself. Should any problem arise, you are authorized to approach me in a proper manner and to list whatever assistance I may proffer you. I'm interested in y'all, Mr. Curtis. You have my word on it. If you got legitimate problems, you have my sympathetic ear at all times. That's all, gentlemen. May God be with you, and may God be with us all.
Thank you, sir.
I thank you for your salute. Y'all do me honor. Carry on, Lieutenant Cole. Move these men into Stockade. Yes, sir. Detail! Tail! Hut! Right! Face! Forward! Hut!
Yeah? Who are you? What you want in this tent?
The name's Curtis. I've been assigned here.
Rank and regiment, mister?
First Lute, 27th Illinois Volunteers.
Militia man, huh? Where'd you get taken?
Fredericksburg.
Yeah, another Union disaster. Ambrose Burnside talks good, but he ain't much on the doing. I wonder what he's going to have to say to Abe Lincoln concerning that debacle.
I wouldn't know.
I'm Vance Luke, captain, 51st Massachusetts. Wounded and taken prisoner at Antietam. If I hadn't been cut down, the Rebs would never have got me. You hear that?
I hear you.
I command in this tent, Mr. Curtis. Get that in your head and keep it there. You'll be our sixth man. No room for any more. That's your cut over there. Round here, I call the shots. When I do, you jump. Understood?
You say so, Captain?
That's right, I do. When I say I call the shots, that's not just in this tent. I call the shots in Yahoo Falls. You want to stay healthy, don't lose sight of that fact, mister. Ah, Mr. Phillips. You're just in time to meet our latest addition to the Happy Family Group, Lieutenant Curtis. Introduce yourself, mister.
Right, Captain Luke, sir. Right. Mr. Curtis, I'm Jason George Phillips, First Lieutenant of Infantry, 69th New York, enlisted at Albany, 1861. Captured at Bull Run without much of a struggle in the self-same year. An honored member, by the grace of God, of this here Happy Officers Club at Yahoo Falls. Arkansas Territory, until death do us part. That having...
Rotten it, Mr. Phillips. You're pushing again. And my patience is wearing thin.
Yes, sir, Captain Luke. Sir.
Just remember, Phillips, one day and soon, the Union Army's going to ride in here, and the shoe's going to be on the other foot. Comes that day, I'm going to make sure that our fine camp commandant, Kentucky Colonel Soames, gets himself a necktie party. Once that little matter's disposed of, my next step will be the investigation of the behavior of certain Union officers of dubious loyalty. Keep on the way you are, Mr. Phillips, and your name stands to be high on my list of suspects. So shape up and watch out!
Anything you say, Captain. I'll be all set. But, just remember, any court-martial or court of inquiry convened under the statutes of the United States gives the privilege of an argument from both sides. You may just find yourself in a compromising position.
You threatening me, Phillips?
No, sir. Just reacquainting you with my rights under United States military law.
Watch it, Phillips. The way you're going, a hole in the ground's going to be your reward, long before the court of inquiry is convened.
You'd better watch it, too, Captain. Remember, you're speaking in front of a witness.
I'm warning you for the last time!
I think you'd better come outside with me, Curtis.
All right, but...
Captain Luke, request permission for Lieutenant Curtis and myself to quit this tent.
Get outside, both of you!
Phillips, you'd better give me the details. What's the matter with Luke? What's happening in this place?
Well, it's only fair you should know, I guess. You just landed up in Yahoo Falls prisoner Stockade, which is probably just about the worst hellhole this side of the firing line, or the big camp at Andersonville, Georgia. And why? Because of that Captain Luke. That's why. And the only reason.
I don't get you.
Look, Luke runs this camp, Curtis. He runs it with a heavy hand of tyranny that has every man-jack of us trembling in our boots in one way or another.
But how? He's just an officer prisoner like us?
Looks that way, doesn't it? Thing is, though, did you get that speech from Colonel Soames about being left to your own devices?
Yeah, we did.
Well, he meant just what he said. He's a good man, that Red Colonel. Salt of the earth, and he's as good as his word. He'll do anything for you in his power. Only thing is, he ain't got much power. No grub, no supplies, hardly any men. Why, if it came to a concerted effort, we could bust out of here easy.
So why not?
You feel like walking back, dressed in Union blue, unarmed, from Arkansas to the line, up in Virginia? Don't let me stop you, Lieutenant. But don't ask me to keep you company either.
I see what you mean. But what about the camp?
It's just like the commandant said. We've been left to fend for ourselves, and the scum has come to the surface.
You mean?
I mean men like you're gonna meet. Men like First Sergeant DuPont, Second Lieutenant Myron Cassidy, Luke Stody, Corporal Lebowitz, Private Anderson, and Private Bowers, to name but a few.
Who are these men?
They're the hardcore of troublemakers in Yahoo Falls, the thieves and squealers, murderers too. And they form a kind of a rotten guard of honor for Captain Luke, senior Union officer in the Stockade, a bully, a braggart, a cripple from battle wounds, and a maniac.
What?
It's the truth. Luke was hit bad at Antietam. He stopped a lot of metal, some of it in his head. He's crazy cut as a psycho. He's homicidal. And he's dragged a bunch of cutthroats in his wake. With them, he runs Yahoo Falls with an iron fist.
Know something? In these mellow after-supper hours, there's nothing like a beer to make a man feel good, relaxed and good. And there's no beer like a Carling Black Label. Carling is the man's brand, the great American beer that's now brewed right here in South Africa, so you don't lose a day of that lusty, lively taste Carling is world famous for. Got a thirst? Then why not get your hands on a Carling right now? Cold and frosty in the can. Man, oh man, isn't that just what real beer is all about? No wonder Carling is enjoyed by men in more than 50 countries around the world. Go for the man's brand. Go for Carling. Carling Black Label.
Things at Yahoo Falls were, as Philip said, bad. Luke, as senior officer, had placed himself at the head of things. Drunk with power, ill with the effects of his wounds and their lasting pain, crazy from the pressures on his damaged mind, he ran the camp as a personal empire, filled with his insane hatred and bitterness. With his nucleus of followers, swollen in their numbers by the hangers-on and toadies who tried to save their own skins, Luke maintained a lasting reign of terror in the Stockade. And no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't avoid Luke's eye forever.
Curtis?
First Lieutenant Curtis to you, Mr. Cassidy.
That's so. I'll try and bear it in mind, maybe. First Lieutenant.
You'll be smart if you do. All right, what do you want?
It's not what I want, mister. It's Captain Luke as wants. He wants you, mister. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. A member of the court-martial board.
What are you talking about? What court-martial?
We're trying Corporal Daly, Ohio Infantry, for treason. He'll swing tomorrow night.
By what authority? We're prisoners of war. We can't convene courts and hang men. Any action of that kind has to be taken by the Reb authorities.
That's pretty dangerous talk, isn't it, Mr. Curtis? You speaking out for the Confederates?
I'm speaking out for justice and decency. What you're proposing, this court-martial on a charge of treason, is criminal folly. And if you kill a man, it'll be murder.
Reckon your views will be of interest to Captain Luke, mister. He's the senior union officer in the Stockade, you know. And this is a union affair, this court-martial. It'll be... good afternoon, Phillips.
What do you want, jerk? Still wagging your tail for your master?
Now, see here,
What does this worm want, Ad?
Luke sent him to me with a message.
An order, mister.
I'll address you personally if and when I have to, Cassidy. Until I do, shut up.
I'm to sit as a member of a court-martial for treason. Luke is holding it in the morning.
Corporal Daly?
That's the name was given to me.
You'll be in attendance, mister. 9 o'clock, sharp.
We'll think about it, Cassidy. Now get out of here. You'd better sit on that court-martial, Ad. Be easier for you if you do.
That suggestion? From you?
Yes, from me. But you'll live longer by towing the line. You don't have to take an active part. Luke wouldn't want you to anyway. But that maniac has got a bee in his bonnet about doing things by the Army Code. So he has to have a complete court-martial board. Even though this kid will hang anyway.
And I'm supposed to sit there like a dummy and watch Luke and his bunch murder the man?
You got any better suggestions? I'm willing to listen to them.
I got nothing better to suggest.
Then take my advice. Be there at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
That you, Curtis?
Yes, sir.
I won't beat about the bush, Lieutenant. As of this noon, you're blacklisted.
That right, sir?
You had no call to go shooting off your mouth this morning during the court-martial proceedings.
You call that a court, Captain?
What would you call it?
What would I call it, Captain? Why, I'd say it was a kangaroo court, rigged with all the dice loaded against the so-called defendant. A kangaroo court convened by cutthroats, cowards, bullies, and murderers, in order to get rid of a man who posed a threat to your rotten yellow hides. That's what I'd call it, Captain Luke.
Thanks for your opinion, Lieutenant. I needed it. I had to know just what went on in that head of yours. Now I know. And you just walked into more trouble than you'd ever figure what to do with. Right, boys, come on over. The party's on.
Okay, hey, what is this about?
Give it to him, boys. Give it to him. And good.
With the lack of medication available to us in the Stockade, it was 6 months before I was fully recovered from the workover Luke and his men gave me that night. And when the recovery was effected, I stayed in the background. The truth of it was that my nerve was broken completely. And as the war ground on, Luke and his men grew stronger. Yahoo Falls Stockade seethed with a stench of total anarchy. The months rolled by and rumors floated down to us from the battle lines. It was 1864, and Grant had taken command of the Union armies, lifting them out of the depression caused by the blunders of previous ham-fisted generals. The U.S. Navy blocked every port of the Confederacy, and the South was starving. Lee, still clever as a fox, remained agile, but his resources were dwindling before his eyes. And Sherman was riding through Georgia, burning and pillaging his way from Atlanta to the sea. And one morning, at Reveille, we heard the thunder of hooves and the call of the bugles at dawn.
Ad, come out of here. It's cavalry, Ad. Union cavalry. Sherman's men, a column with the prettiest looking full cannon I've ever seen, riding out in front of him.
Quite a sight, eh, Jason?
And look at the Reb guards outside the wire. They've set aside their weapons. They're waving at our men walking out to meet them.
And down there at the stockade gates, Colonel Soames, strapping on his sword, walking to meet our colonel. 2 years, Jason. Even more for you. Now we're getting shut of Yahoo Falls.
And of Luke and his crowd.
As of this morning, you men are free. The Confederate soldiers here at Yahoo Falls have laid down their arms, and now the position is reversed. The guards are the prisoners. I have to tell you that I never, in all my days, seen a more pitiable sight than you men. It seems plain to all of us here that you've been ill-treated and abused. Your appearance shows me that the basic rules of war have been violated. I promise you a full inquiry, and if necessary, justice to atone for your misery.
Talbot, sir.
Yes, Captain Luke, what do you want?
I wish to go on record as senior officer of the Stockade at Yahoo Falls.
That's understood, Captain.
And to charge Colonel Theodore Soames of the Army of Northern Virginia, the ex-commandant of the Stockade, with crimes against humanity, with criminal negligence and cruelty that has led to the death through neglect and starvation of many of the men contained here.
Your charges will be investigated, Captain, and punishment will be meted out if such is deemed necessary. There will be a full inquiry. That much I promise you, here and now. Lieutenant Jordan, my compliments to Colonel Soames. And he is to consider himself under arrest and to hold himself in readiness to appear before a court of inquiry that will be convened in short order. Right out.
Colonel Talbot held his court of inquiry, and under the violent probing of Luke and his henchmen, backed up by the enforced support or the indifference of the other ex-prisoners, the inquiry became a court-martial, and I remained in the background, not daring to show my face, as the sentence was read out across the drumheads.
Colonel Soames, you've been found guilty by a legally convened court-martial of the Army of the Potomac. The crimes with which you are charged are conduct unbecoming an officer in the times of war, criminal negligence amounting to murder, abuse of authority to the physical detriment of the men in your charge. Do you have an answer to make to these charges before the sentence of this court is read out?
It'll make no difference to you, Colonel, so I'll be brief. Here at Yahoo Falls, we done what could be done. But as y'all can see, we're just as hungry, just as raggedy as your own men who were our prisoners. We shared what we had, and that's all. Seems that wasn't enough. So, maybe my blood will square the account some. You go ahead now, Colonel Talbot. Say your piece and do what you have to do. 'Cause I'm through now.
Then, sir, it is the unanimous decision of this court that you shall suffer the penalty of death by hanging. Sentence to be carried out in public at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
I knew it was wrong. I knew that Luke, using threats and high-pressure tactics, had railroaded the tired and dignified old rebel officer into a shameful death. There was nothing to be gained by the maneuver. Luke had developed a psychopathic hatred for Soames over the years of his confinement. He wanted only his blood. And I stood back and did nothing. That night, I lay in the tent, thinking about it, and hearing the hammering of the work detail putting together the scaffold. Next morning, at 8 o'clock, as we stood in formation before the gallows, waiting for the trap to be sprung, I was still thinking, but I wasn't doing anything.
The sentence of the court will be carried out.
Hey, hold on!
What's going on? Get back in formation, Lieutenant.
I can't obey you, sir, and I can't let you hang that man without speaking out on his behalf.
There's nothing further to be said.
But there's a whole lot to be said. I beg you, sir, let me talk.
Let him talk! Let him talk!
I told that story, and it bubbled out of me like blind rage. I was scared as I spoke and felt the eyes of Luke and the others boring into me. But I was too mad to care, and I talked about everything. The honesty and the helplessness of the Confederate commandant. The ruthlessness and depravity of the Luke clique. I poured scorn on our own collective kowtowing to Luke, and on my own in particular. And as I spoke, it became worthwhile. Colonel Talbot's face grew thoughtful, then angry. And when I finished, he gave a snap judgment that rocked me to my foundations.
Come on. Colonel Soames is to be returned to custody. This sentence is hereby nullified. And this time, the investigation will be complete and exhaustive.
Thank you, Lieutenant Curtis. I thank you. And I won't forget what you said and done this day, sir.
A pleasure and a privilege, Colonel. We were dismissed then, and trooped back to our tents within the now open stockade. I saw many angry eyes fixed upon me, but hearteningly there were smiles too, and nods of encouragement. Jason Phillips fell into step beside me.
Now we're going to see something.
Well done, Ad. I'm proud of you. Wish I'd had the guts to do it myself, but maybe...
Curtis, looks like you didn't learn your lesson after all. The next one's gonna make all the difference. We'll be stopping your mouth for good. And today...
You'll be doing nothing, Luke. Take my word for it. Better still, take our word for it. It's all over, Captain. You've come to the end of your rope, as you'll see in a while when you look down and see your boots dangling. This is one score you'll never be able to fix.
Sets fire to the faraway hills. When the rivers flow red in the twilight, and the long shadows slowly fade into darkness. When the action's over and stories are retold round a log fire. That's when a man needs a beer. Carling Black Label. Husky, lusty, and strong, Carling is the man's brand. Extra strength Carling Black Label is now brewed right here in South Africa. So you don't lose a day of that lusty, lively taste Carling is world famous for. If you've got a thirst, put our brand on it. Carling Black Label, brewed for men in 18 breweries around the world.
Stories from the great American authors of love and hate, excitement and tension, with music especially composed by Sam Sclair. Stories of our time and times gone by. Stories from Carling Country.